So Team USA just won the Olympics today or yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah. And obviously it is one of the toughest teams to make is Team USA. Their women's basketball team is one of the toughest teams. So I'm going to try and make my fancy booking my 2028 Olympic team right now. I'm obviously, hopefully, still making content around all forms of basketball, NBA, WNBA, college by then. And I'll still be, hopefully, again, able to do something, well, based around content for that Olympics. But in this video, we're going to be talking about my prediction for the 2028 team. If you want to see my men's team prediction, go subscribe to the Mick Hoops channel right here. A link will be in the description. So, I'm going to talk about my honorable mentions. And this is barely even including players that we are talking about in college. I can guarantee you, at least one player we are barely talking about right now makes the team, or is at least in good consideration for the team, because I think this is probably where they go younger. This is where they go younger. I think in the 2027 or 2026 World Cup they might go younger as well. But these are my honorable mentions, and again, these are all players that I think have a shot of making the team. And this is from what knowledge I currently have on the 13th of August 2024. Obviously, things change as time goes on. But Cameron Brink, I just think there are going to be better bigs than her in a few years. I think Cameron Brink is going to be fine. She's going to be a really good WNBA big. I think it's unlikely she doesn't make the 3-on-3 team, but I don't think she makes it to 5-on-5. Rickea Jackson, again, someone who, if it all comes together, could be in this team as a wing, because the team that I picked is struggling. Well, unless you're playing Stewie as a big wing, is probably going to struggle a little bit for that. But again, it all just depends on how she improves in the next year or two. This is like my most out there prediction of JC Sheldon. I don't know. I really like just her ability to fit in, play a role, hit shots, play defense, kind of do a little bit of everything. I think this is the least likely of all my honorable mentions, but her improvement from the start of the year to now, I don't think that's the craziest decision in the world to put her as an honorable mention. I think Arike Gumbawale, I just think it's more likely that she takes her name out of consideration again. I think that if you have a team good enough that you don't need Arike, you don't bring Arike. I think you don't need a one-dimensional shot choker, which is why I don't think there's a chance Jewel Lloyd is going to be on the team. Especially when she's someone who doesn't really excel in anything else other than playing a role, and there's no point trying to turn her into a 3-and-D player when you can just bring a 3-and-D player. I don't think she was snubbed necessarily from this team. I think she's not one of the bigger snubs just because I think she does the same thing as Jewel Lloyd, and I don't think she would have. I think she would have maybe, like, if you're losing a game, she can win it for you, but she can also lose a game for you that you should be winning. So I just don't see necessarily where she would have fit in, and I think in 2028 the team's going to be even better. She could make the team, I doubt it. This one is the closest I went to putting a player in the team. It's just, do I think Kat Copper at 34 years old is going to be better than the wings that I have picked? No. Kat Copper was one of the best players in this Olympics team, and she could well make it in 4 years. It's just, again, at 34, she's tough, she can score, she hits big shots. Maybe I'm overestimating age, but she will be 34, and you just never know how players are gonna age. This could be the worst take ever, because if she stays at the way she's playing right now, she's very clearly gonna be on the team. But that's just a prediction. Then I've got Dejanay Carrington, because I think Dejanay Carrington is like an all-world wing defender and better on offense. And there's definitely some like weird reality where Nalissa Smith just figures it all out. Figures out like how she's so good at basketball but doesn't know how to play basketball. She figures out how to play basketball, how to use her strengths and kind of hide her weaknesses, and improves on that. There's some weird reality where it just clicks in her head and she becomes an all-star. But Dejanay Carrington definitely with a shout. I think Kelsey Plum, but again, Kelsey Plum's going to be 34 at the time. I think for the way that she plays for Team USA, this like spark plug, run around everywhere, and just an energy player, I'm not sure she'll be doing that at 34. Anissa Morrow, somebody who, if she figures out how to shoot the ball from three, she's going to be really good. I think Maddie Seeger is one of the most underrated players in the WNBA this season. She's a second-year player who was averaging the most points out of any second-year player before she got injured. Again, if like her year 1 to year 2 improvement has been crazy, and she's someone who, if she keeps improving, could be in with a shout. I think Ryan Howard, other than Kat Copper, is the toughest player. It's between Ryan Howard and, well, a player that's currently playing at USC for that wing spot, and I went for the player at USC. But this could be, again, this might be the dumbest of all my selections. Then we have got Ariel Atkins, an Olympian, someone who will still be only 31 for the next Olympics, and who's a great defender, good scorer, who I think was snubbed on this team. I just think there is a specific player for her role that I think is going to be better at the time of the next Olympics. Shakira Austin, a center who was gradually improving, was on the World Cup team the last time, is definitely going to be in with a shout. Olivia Miles, as far as this draft is concerned, the best point guard, one of the best pure point guards, and if the league starts building more around guards, I think she's, again, someone in with a shout. And then Kiki Ariafin, a freaky athletic forward who scored 20 points a game, who could be, again, like me not putting her in the team in 3 years' time, it just could be a given. But now we have got the final 12. We have got the final 12 I picked. So, my first point guard, obviously Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is going to be on that team. More than likely going to be the starting point guard, and is going to be the player that a lot of stuff runs through. A lot of people talk about how in FIBA it's more physical basketball. There was no level of FIBA basketball where the physicality was anywhere close to what Caitlin Clark experienced in her first 10 games in the WNBA. Yes, the physicality is greater in FIBA than the WNBA. The physicality is not greater than whatever the hell they subjected Caitlin Clark to for a few games. So, yeah, that is without question. And the only way she is not the starting point guard in 2028 is if Paige Beckers ends up being as good as advertised. I was very tempted not to pick Paige Beckers on this team. I have a very, very weird feeling that she's... Not that she's not going to be really good in the WNBA, but that she's just going to be very good. Now, she's not going to be... Like, I don't think Paige Beckers is as good now as she was when she was a freshman. I think a lot of... Like, I think, as a freshman, I know Caitlin Clark's stats were better. Paige Beckers was better. I watched a lot of Paige Beckers playing as a freshman. She was just the better player. She was the better all-around player. Caitlin Clark improved and is now better. I think is right now at a level way above Paige Beckers, but I just think that she has been... I could be so wrong with this. I just don't know why. I just have a feeling that she's just going to be a good player. But the potential is there for her to be the best guard in the WNBA. She has all the skills in the world. She has no weaknesses in her game. She doesn't have the elite strengths to the extent of a Caitlin Clark, but there are no flaws whatsoever in Paige Beckers' game. Especially from the defensive standpoint, she's not going to be able to be targeted, but I do foresee Caitlin Clark being a much better defender in 2028 than she is right now. So it's between one of these two starting at the point. I don't see both of them starting, but my nod would be Caitlin Clark. Sabrina Ionescu is still going to be on the team. I didn't think she was brilliant at these Olympics, but I thought that in the final, Sabrina was a game changer. The best point guard USA had in the Olympic final was Sabrina Ionescu, and they didn't put her on the floor until a minute to go in the third quarter. She was levels above Chelsea Gray, and again, she was not even playing her best position. I think she's better off the ball. As good as the team was with her playing the one, as good as she was at the one, when Sloot was playing, she's been a better player, and I do think it depends on what the Liberty do with that money for Sloot, whether or not they put it into whether they get another superstar there. She might have to play the one, she might have to play two. I think she is better at the two, so you do need a defensive wing at the three, though, to play with Sabrina and probably a Caitlin Clark. Jackie Young, I think Jackie Young is without question going to be on the team. It's not like Jackie Young's old. So I saw a lot of people taking her out of the Team USA teams for 2028. Like, she's a year younger than me. Like, Jackie Young is 26 years old. She's the same age as Sabrina. So, she'll be there. She'll be 30. She'll be in her prime. She can defend. She can shoot. And I think she'll play as much as in like the Kat Copper type role. She could be a starter again. She was exceptional in the Olympics. Now hear me out on this one. This is the young player that I think that is going to make that leap into being the best 3-and-D wing. And it's not necessarily... Like, I think Dejanay Carrington, if you guys believe Dejanay Carrington is going to be that player... But again, Dejanay Carrington is 3 years older than the person that picked. I think the player that is going to become that like supreme, like first top 3-and-D wing by the next Olympics is going to be Jordan Horston. So Jordan Horston is 21 years old or 23 years old. She's like a couple of months older than Paige Beckers. She's averaging 8, 5, and 2 assists right now this season, but she's a 6'2" athletic wing who can score a bit. Like, she shoots the ball at a decent rate. She doesn't really have that many flaws, and it's just that she's on a team with Jewel Lloyd, Nneka Nwumeke, Skylar Diggins-Smith. She's on a team with 3 scorers. She's not going to be that scorer, and I think that she could be in the WNBA, she could be a 12, 13-point-a-game scorer already. She was the 9th pick of the 2023 WNBA draft. I think in a redraft, she might go 2. Maybe Maddie Siegrist goes 2. But I think she's up there near the top in a redraft. I think Jordan Horston is going to be that player. And you need to bring a 3-and-D wing. Like, yes, you could try to find a Kat Copper, someone who'll play that role. But it's easier, rather than trying to figure out someone to play a role, it's easier to just bring somebody who plays that role. Like, and that's one thing Team USA don't understand. Instead of figuring out what superstar can play a role, why not just bring someone who plays the role? I've seen what it did with Derek White and Drew Holiday, how important they were. And then I'm going to pick Juju Watkins. So, that is Kiki Riafin. Her teammate this year, I think Juju's going to be brilliant. And that is a wrong picture too. I think Juju's going to be absolutely brilliant. I think Juju Watkins is going to be that elite tier wing. I think she's as good as advertised as far as her scoring is concerned. I think, again, a little bit inefficient sometimes as a freshman, but again, she was USC. I think she's probably not going to go and break Caitlin Clark's all-around overall scoring record, but I do think Juju is going to be absolutely elite. Her game is so smooth. She's a 6'2" wing. She's going to be in 20. The worst part is her draft class is also the year where Wang Jiu can come in. But I still think she's going to be, or not Wang Jiu, Zhang Jiu. I still think she's going to be taking over 7'5" girl. But I would be shocked if Juju does not make the team. I think they've seen the mistakes they made with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. I don't think Juju Watkins misses out on the team. Then we've got Fee Collier. Look, I know she wasn't brilliant at the Olympics. She didn't deserve her starting spot by the end. She was good. She wasn't that, or not she was good. She wasn't that bad. She's been brilliant in the WNBA. And she's someone that is going to be, 31 by the time of the next Olympics? She's going to have that experience. She's going to be one of the old heads on this team. And you do need some experience rather than just going youth. And I think that she's, without question, that player. And then there's obviously Breanna Stewart. Breanna Stewart, up till the final, was MVP. Aja fully deserved it after that final. But Stewie is going to be 34, I think. What age is Stewie right now? Is she 30? Or she's 29. So she's 29. She's going to be 33, going 34 at the Olympics. She has the exact same date of birth as Kat Copper. 27th of August, 1994. Kat Copper is the 28th. No, she's one day younger than Kat Copper. Or one day older than Kat Copper. Difference is, I just think she's better. I think she's going to go down as one of the 3 greatest players of all time. And it's just a pity that I think, not Angel Reese, who will go down as the GOAT, is playing at the same time as her. Aja Wilson is going to be, I think she's a year younger than Stewie. She's going to be in her 30s. Maybe not as good as right now, but still going to be one of the best 5 or 6 players in the world at worst. That is at worst saying best 5 or 6. If she is the best player in the world in 4 years' time, it would not surprise me. But she's going to be one of the best, without question. She's going to be on the team, and she's probably going to be the leader of this team. Maybe winning another MVP in the process. I think you bring Angel Reese. Angel Reese, I think these last 3 are players that we need, not to meet the see more. I think right now, with the way Angel Reese is playing, I think you should have brought Angel Reese to this Olympics, but you just don't know what's going to happen in 4 years with the whole relevancy of the sport, with the whole viewership thing. And I think if you're asking me right now who's a better player, Angel Reese or Leah Boston, they do different things. I think Angel Reese would have been better for Team USA. I think all in all, if you're asking 12 of the 12 WNBA teams, I think 11 would take Leah Boston. I think Angel Reese is better for what the Sky need. I think she's there. But there is a scenario where, if Angel Reese doesn't make any improvements to her game, and, for example, a Kiki Riafin comes in and balls out, if a Shakira Austin starts making improvements, if Cameron Brink ends up making improvements, then I wouldn't be so sure of this. But right now, I would be 85% sure that Angel Reese makes enough improvements to be on this team. And the last two spots, I think they're going to bring 2 more centers because of the size of some of these teams. And they know, well, not even the size of some of these teams, because they know that they can just outsize teams. The first player I'm going to have on the team is Aaliyah Boston. Again, Aaliyah Boston's in that Angel Reese category where it's like, she's not good enough right now. She might not be good enough right now. I think or Angel Reese is closer to being, for the way the game is played at the international level, she's closer to being Angel Reese closer to making the Team USA at the way they're playing right now than Aaliyah Boston is. But I just think with Aaliyah Boston's IQ is maybe the highest I've seen from a big in the whole WNBA. And last up is Bree Jones. So, like, Bree Jones is still going to be in her early 30s. I think she's supremely underrated as a center because people just aren't watching the Connecticut Sun. A completely deserving all-star. And yeah, it's just that one spot for like Shakira Austin, Cameron Brink, Jones, players that are coming in to the W. I just wanted to put in another center. I think Bree Jones, as far as the age profile, matches up rather than bringing a 37-year-old Brittany Griner, because there aren't that many unbelievable centers in the WNBA. Like, do you bring Dolson maybe? I don't know. I don't know what you're looking at, but I think the least confident I am is probably in Bree Jones, followed by Aaliyah Boston, followed by Angel Reese. I think it's Stewie and AJ guarantees. I think Fee's a guarantee. I think Juju's close to a guarantee. Jordan Horston, actually, sorry, this is my wild card pick, but I do think they bring a 3-and-D wing. Jackie Young, near guarantee. Sabrina, near guarantee. Paige Becker's not as much of a guarantee as you think, but in the like 90% range with an Angel Reese. And then Caitlin Clark is a guarantee. So anyway, that is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.